and I think it's unnecessary. We've got to go in and got to keep our heads high. And as I say, we've got to have the back of this president. You don't turn your back because of one performance.
He was a very different person on the stage 4 years ago when you debated him. You must, I mean, that's certainly true, is it not?
I'm not going to spend all night with you talking about the last 90 minutes.
Well,
when I've been watching the last 3.5 years of performance.
This is the baton. If he stays in, and he will lose to Donald Trump, he's losing in every battleground poll. Give it 2 weeks till people process this debate. He will be plummeting. You know, he risks turning this country over to Donald Trump.
Don't say, don't look at that debate. No, that's not it. That is not helpful. And at this point, if the Democratic voice pieces do not pivot,
but
they will lose in November.
What's going on, guys? So surely by now, majority of you have seen this horrendous debate performance by sleepy cadaver Joe Biden. Okay, so now we have one of the moments I've been waiting for is the reaction of the mainstream media, all of the radical leftists, all the people who've been out here just BSing, gaslighting, capping for Sleepy Joe. And one of those groups is the Cackling Hens on The View. Okay, so these chicks, I already saw a little bit of the clip. They are coping. They are trying to make amends with the lies and the gaslighting that they have been doing for literally like years at this point, including previously saying that Joe Biden would wipe the floor with Donald Trump.
This is how I feel about it. On the one hand, I think that they should debate, that Biden will wipe the floor with him, especially, or Biden should just challenge him to push-ups, the last time Trump did a push-up, he was on top of Stormy Daniels, okay?
Donald Trump better be careful, because in 2020, when they had their little debate, Biden swept the floor with him.
That's right.
Exit polls suggested that he won those debates overwhelmingly.
And Trump is even worse now. He can't put a sentence together.
That's cap, and you know it.
Now I just want to see them just eat crow. Okay, I just want to see them cope and suffer in these moments when they realize that they have effectively doomed the Biden-Harris ticket. He should have never been the nominee. Everybody saw that he was old as heck years ago and should not be the person, but they insisted on trying to gaslight their way into the White House. And now that that narrative is falling apart, they don't know what to do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
Have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden.
What did he say?
President Trump.
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death. I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Really hard to watch. And it kind of pains me to say this today, but I think President Biden needs to step down and be replaced.
You do.
If we want to defeat Donald Trump in November.
You're too late. You blew it.
I think that's why they pushed for an earlier debate, so they'd have time to change course if needed. But they've got to act fast, and I would implore those closest with the president to have the very hard conversations they're going to need to have.
They got to actually get Joe Biden to agree to this. And honestly, I don't see it happening. And then you also have Kamala Harris in the way as well. I just don't see either one of them agreeing to this because, in my opinion, if one goes, both got to go. Like, if Joe Biden goes, Kamala Harris isn't just going to accept not being bumped up to president, right? So she's not going to accept not being VP anymore. You see what I'm saying? At least I don't think so. I can't see either one of them just going from like top position. If you know anything about these egomaniac types, especially in politics, they're the biggest egos in like the universe. They're not going to just step down willingly. Okay. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but I just don't see that happening. They got themselves into a pickle. Joe Biden won the primary. It's over for him, in my opinion.
And for his legacy, which, I mean, that's all on the line right now. And Democrats need to stop spinning the age problem. We have sat here, and Alyssa has repeatedly brought up that a lot of people are concerned with his age. And over, Democrats have twisted themselves into a pretzel to say, don't believe your lying eyes, it's not true. And even at this table, we've said, look, Joy's 81. Joy Behar at 81.
Must we keep repeating that?
Yeah, basically, y'all been gaslighting over and over and over again. Every freaking episode where this comes up, you just lie and gaslight every time. Now, all of a sudden, they're trying to say, well, maybe we should stop saying that. You should have said it a long time ago. The credibility is gone. That's why when anybody keeps saying that, if they switch and they pick somebody like Gavin Newsom or Michelle Obama or any the hell body else, it don't matter. They're all gonna lose because the credibility is so damaged. They've been trying to support Biden this entire time. Now they're gonna try to just flip the switch and pick somebody else and just pretend like they never said any of that stuff. They never tried to gaslight us. They never said cheap fake, right? They didn't have Joe Biden, the primaries rigged in favor of Joe Biden. In some places, they had no primary. There was no option to even vote for Dean Phillips, Marianne Williamson, Cenk Uygur. You had no options. It was only Joe Biden. And now all of a sudden, they're going to try to just swoop somebody in at the last minute. So much for that democracy point that they keep arguing. It's the end of democracy. In order for them to even do this, they would have to end democracy themselves. This is the predicament they put themselves in, is to look hypocritical and like liars, again, like they always have been.
Joy Behar at 81
But I am.
is not Joe Biden at 81.
No.
And that was on full display last night.
Have to do with, look,
But let me be clear. If November comes and President Biden and President Trump are on the ticket, I will 100% be voting for President Biden because the alternative is too scary for me. But I fear.
You just look at how ridiculous this is. You see that this guy clearly cannot think straight. He cannot speak straight. He cannot walk straight. But you're so afraid of the orange man, you're going to vote for him anyway. You see how preposterous this is? This is what they really meant the entire time. They didn't mean that he wasn't too freaking old, that he wasn't a fossil. They meant it don't matter. We Trump deranged. That's what they meant. They're Trump deranged. That's what matters. That's what Robert De Niro wants you to believe. That's what the cackling hens want you to believe, is that, look, orange man bad, vote for anybody else, even if it's just a freaking brain inside a jar. Then vote for that. That's what they want you to do. And I'm going to tell you, cackling hens and anybody else listening right now, the answer is no.
That many people in this country do not feel the same way.
So I was genuinely in shock last night watching this, even though I've had concerns for a couple of years about Biden.
How are you in shock? There's so many.
soon NATO will be the 32nd freestanding, have 30 free.
It was stunningly worse than I expected, the performance. I think within the first 90 seconds, it was kind of baked in. And I think a lot of people tuned out some of the later part of the debates. And I want to be clear, Donald Trump was a mess. He lied his way through it, but Joe Biden's performance was so...
Lied about what? Somebody please talk about this. What is he lying about? They keep trying to... You can't just say, well, Joe Biden did terrible, but Donald Trump did terrible too. He lied. He lied about so much. Lied about what? You had a golden opportunity here to literally call him out on every single thing that he lied about to his face, but you didn't. You can't just wait until he's not here anymore to say anything and then say, well, he's a liar. That's what. No, fools. You had to call him out to his face. Joe Biden is supposed to have the facts. Why didn't he have the facts with all of his training? He went to freaking boot camp for this. They locked him away for days. You didn't see Joe Biden for days. He was locked away training with 16 advisors. And now you're saying, Donald Trump lied. About what, man? What did he lie about? This is why I didn't say, hey, I saw her yesterday in Atlanta. That's why I didn't say nothing to her. I was like, I don't want to say hi, no pictures, no nothing, because you lie Alyssa, you lie. That's why y'all in this mess, because y'all been lying the whole time.
It eclipsed the performance of Donald Trump because the distraction was on Joe Biden's performance. But here's the thing. Biden has been running on Donald Trump as a threat to democracy. He's a threat to our values. I agree with him on that. Donald Trump is a threat to American democracy. Right. He needs to put country before his own ambition, and he needs to step aside and pass the baton, because I'm telling you right now, Trump world is scared when they're hearing rumblings that there could be someone else on the ticket.
Fool, slap yourself 3 times.
No, we're not. Pick whoever the hell you want. Ain't nobody scared of anything, because y'all been standing behind crooked, sleepy Joe Biden, cadaver Joe for years. Okay, cocaine son Joe. Okay, felony son Joe. Y'all been standing behind him for years. Your credibility is gone. The policies of the left do not work. The economics of it do not work. You'll lose. Doesn't matter if you have the cadaver or not, you'll lose. Pick whoever the hell you want.
Know that any other Democrat will will wipe the floor with Donald Trump.
We've heard that before, and how did that work out? You said that about Joe Biden, and it didn't work then either. You guys don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You know, I think what we saw was that Biden lost that debate. I think that is an accurate depiction of what happened. Blame it on a cold, blame it on his stuttering, blame it on over-preparation, whatever. But he did lose.
Period. On God?
Maybe he needs to go. Maybe he needs to be honest with himself and the American people. He can bow out at this time with grace and dignity. He has a record he can be proud of. But what I will...
Yeah, you're right. Record inflation. Record interest rates on houses, record prices. You're right. He does have a record he could be proud of. The record for the worst president in United States history.
We'll say this. I think it's really ironic that we're the only party talking about needing to replace our nominee.
And here we go.
I think it's really ironic that the party that should be pressuring their candidate to step aside is the Republican Party. Their nominee.
Well, why? I mean, during the period of Donald Trump, we had record low prices. Okay, the black community and all communities were doing awesomely. Things were great. The crime was down. Like, everything that was supposed to go down was down. Everything that was supposed to be going good was good. Under Joe Biden, it's the opposite.
Is a convicted felon. He's facing hundreds of charges for criminal activity and has been proven to be a racist, a business fraud, liable for sexual abuse, an insurrectionist.
Trump derangement syndrome. Hatred of Donald Trump so intense that it impairs people's judgment.
And as Biden said, he has the morals of an alley cat. Republicans need to be holding him accountable. The majority of the party, which has been cowardly and feckless and complicit and enabling in allowing Trump's racism, bullying. His demagoguery, misogyny. Why are we, as Democrats, those of us that are Democrats, calling for our nominee to change?
Because he can't walk, he can't talk, he can't speak. He's been proven a racist, a segregationist per Kamala Harris. All of his policies have been destroying America. Illegal migrants have been chosen over every community, over white community, black community, Hispanic community, Asian community, Indian community. Illegal migrants, wherever the hell they coming from, which is all over the world, have been picked, chosen over all of America. That's why he needs to go. Israel, Ukraine, chosen over America. That's why he needs to go. He can't walk straight without looking like he's about to fall over. He can't complete a debate without talking about being replaced after one debate. That's why he needs to go, Sonny. Try again. Try it again. You want to talk about all of these goofy behind rigged trials that were politically motivated against Donald Trump, where they literally changed the law for Whack Job Carol, the lady who glorifies grape as if it was an awesome thing that you can fantasize about, and then you want to turn around and act like that was a real case against him? Letitia James with the fake civil fraud. You want to pretend like that's a real case against him? This hush money nonsense, you want to pretend like that's a real case against him? That's why y'all need to go. That's why Trump earned all of this money after all of these convictions. Because everybody knows it's fake bullshit. That's why, Sonny, everybody knows that y'all are capping. You had to sit down and read all of these notes just so you could try to get a clap back that Joe Biden couldn't do his damn self. Maybe you should run for president and see how you do against Teflon Don. You'll get smoked too. Had to read notes. I'm up here, no notes. I don't need notes for you, Sonny. Let's see what else they're talking about.
Republicans and Democrats are cut from a different cloth.
Yes.
Yeah. Democrats are exquisite, they're precious, they're idealists.
Hey, yo, what the Oh, you crazy.
I am.
I'm not just... Biden was sharp, that he was cogent.
His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years.
President Biden, who I've been around numerous times just in this last year, is sharp, he's focused, he's bright.
This is a man who is sharp, who is on top of his game, who knows what's going on.
He's smart. He's on his game.
Look, I've known Joe Biden and I love Joe Biden. And I've known Joe Biden for over 20 years. I've never seen Joe Biden like I saw him last night. Sure.
Joe Biden has been this way for years. Y'all were never Joe Biden's friend, and you're not his friend now if you defend him as being the president. If you defended him for being the president since like 2021 when his cognitive decline was so apparent, then you were never his friend to begin with. You never were. Guys, look, I can't even finish watching the Cackling Hens cope here because now it's just starting to annoy me. So I'm pretty much done watching them cope over this. They're trying to pretend like they're standing on some sort of moral high ground because after years of gaslighting, now they have the courage to say that they should replace the nominee. Why don't the Republicans do the same? Why don't they do it? Because the economy worked under Trump. Communities were doing great under Trump. We didn't have wars under Trump. And under Joe Biden, everything that I just mentioned has gone to hell. That's why. Stop playing with me and the rest of Americans. We're going to vote Joe Biden and all his ragtag group of loser Democrat congressmen and women out of the freaking office. Okay, if we could fire y'all on The View, we would too, because y'all need to go with all this whack or ridiculous propaganda too. Okay, ain't nobody trying to hear y'all trying to defend sleepy, crooked Joe Biden. Dude is barely alive. He's hanging on by a thread literally to his life. Y'all acting like his presidency is on the line, like the country is on the line or something, even though Donald Trump has been president before and things were fine, save some of the pandemic stuff. What's really on the line is Joe Biden's life. He can barely keep it together. People should be worried about his health and him enjoying his life, not sitting out here trying to fight the battle of his life, out here struggling to speak and walk. Dude needs to be on an island somewhere chilling and enjoying the time that he has left, not out here trying to defeat Teflon Don and have y'all gaslight y'all way into this dude freaking dying within like the first 30 days of his 2028 presidency that he's not going to win to begin with. It's not going to happen. Pick whoever you want. Ain't nobody scared of y'all goofy behinds at this point because the gaslighting is failing. The fact is Democrats have failed tremendously. It hasn't been just Joe Biden that's failed. The Cackling Hens have failed Americans too. The other politicians who have been gaslighting have failed Americans. The fake news media has failed Americans. And that's why Joe Biden got his ass kicked. It wasn't just because he was old and coughing and looking crazy with his mouth open and just looking ridiculous, like the one eye halfway closed. That's not the only reason. It's because the policies suck. They haven't even talked about it. Maybe they talk about it later, but I ain't got the patience for listening to these Cackling Hens no more. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
The entire conversation of replacing Joe Biden, I don't think is feasible unless Joe Biden himself decides to
what about
get
Jill?
out of the...
How much influence will Jill have on him?
I hope that the people that love him would step in, because I guarantee if that was someone I loved, I'd be up in his ear now.